Hey there. I wanted to open up a conversation and kind of sharing some perspective on our recent changes in terms of CBD ghee and hemp ghee and kind of what's happening with all of that. So basically, some of you know that I put up a post on our page recently that we were no longer going to be selling CBD ghee, which is the ghee that we were putting CBD isolate into, and that we were only going to be doing the hempress and infusions that are made with hemp flower into ghee. And the thing that I announced is that North Carolina, the state that I live in and that we manufacture in, has decided or has announced, I guess it's always been this way, but they've recently announced that it's actually illegal to put CBD. They're calling it CBD, and what they mean is CBD isolate, not the hemp plant, cannabis. And so they are saying that it's not allowed to put CBD isolate in food and beverages for commercial sale in North Carolina. Now, I got clear on this, and it's not to be like marketed as CBD and isolate, but hemp flower and the actual plant infusions are okay. So, initially, when I got this news, I was like, oh, bummer, because our CBD ghee, particularly our chocolate CBD ghee, has been one of our biggest sellers and has been really beautiful, helpful medicine for a lot of people. And it feels sad to me to no longer be able to carry it. And so we had pulled it from our website, and we've been getting inquiries from people like, are you not carrying it anymore? Where is it? Oh my gosh, that's my medicine. All of that. And so so this was a bummer initially, thinking about like, oh, we're not selling this medicine anymore that that a lot of people have really loved and benefited from. But I want to share a little bit of where my perspective lies with it and why I actually think it's a really good thing. And I'm thankful for, I'm kind of like, if you know me at all and know anything about the way that I live my life, I'm a little bit of an anarchist and like rebel when it comes to following rules sometimes, and so normally I'm not that stoked about like the way that our government enforces laws around particularly things when it comes to like not being able to buy certain food product, or particularly food politics is where it gets tricky for me. But anyway, this is one instance where I actually realized that I agree with the state of North Carolina on this one, and I'll tell you why. So a few months ago, before this all came out, I started to realize that I was not actually in favor of using CBD isolate. And a big reason why is because everything that we put in the ghee, so we buy like this amazing butter from a regionally sourced, incredible, like these local farms, and amazing honey, and try to source like the top quality, amazing ingredients that we can. And so there was like one thing that fell out of alignment in our kitchen, and it was CBD isolate. And a big part of it is visually when you look at it, but also the energetics of the medicine. And I'm really big on energy medicine and plants and everything having an energetic imprint. And this is why I think it's important for us to create crystal grids and prayers and altars when we're making medicine and this kind of infuses everything that I do. And when we were working with the CBD isolate, it holds an energetic of a pharmaceutical drug. And I just want to show you. So I'm going to just put in Google Images CBD isolate. And we're going to just look at the picture here, okay? So can you see that? Okay, so you've got a bunch of white powder, right? And it's this fine white powder, and that's what it looks like. And that's what we were putting in the ghee, and it felt weird. Because it's not, everything else is like food medicine and plant medicine. And I knew, okay, this comes from a plant, and like this comes from a natural source, but so does Advil, and so does aspirin, and so does all these pharmaceutical drugs that people are taking. And so it not only looks like a pharmaceutical drug, and like we're putting this white powder into the food medicine, but it, on an energetic level and on like even a physical level, it reminds me in my body of what it feels like to take a pharmaceutical drug. And I'm not, there are really important roles that Western medicine and pharmacies play in our society and in our health. And so I'm not saying that that in itself is, you know, this like horrible, evil thing. However, I will say that that is something that me as a person and in this business, Goddess Ghee, I am trying to like rely more on the food medicines and the plant medicines to bring radiance and wellness and healing into our life, and rely less on these pharmaceutical lab created drugs. So let's look up, I'm going to type in hemp on Google. And so here we go. That is the plant, what we're working with. And there's Google Images showing us, yep, that's a plant. It looks, you know, similar to the other herbs that we're using. We have tulsi and turmeric and all these like all these medicines that come to us, and they're vibrant in color. They're vibrant in smell. They have flavor. And this, when we work with this plant, it feels like the other plant medicines that we're working with and that we're infusing in the ghee. And when we were working with isolate, it was flavorless, didn't have a smell. It was white powder, and it had lost the essence of the plant. The plant essence was just gone, destroyed. It's an isolated compound. It's just this part of the plant. And yes, it's very healing and medicinal, and it works. So is aspirin. It's powerful. It works. However, we don't need to do that. We can use this plant in its whole form, and I believe even have greater results with the full spectrum of medicinal components that it offers. And having like even our tongue, our taste buds, our receptors, everything, our eyes, when we take in medicine, we're not just like taking in the medicine like as blankly. It's like our eyes are taking in the medicine, our senses, our taste, we're taking in all of the processing and all of the energy that went into that medicine. So we're taking in that medicine every step of the way, where it was grown, who grew it, everything, like what happened to it after it was grown, how it was handled. And this is something that really matters to me. When we make the ghee, y'all, we're not just like showing up to work like, okay, let's make some ghee. I understand, and I've understood the whole time that I've had this business, that when I am being part of a process of feeding somebody food or giving somebody medicine, that whatever I'm infusing, like I'm infusing whatever I'm bringing into it. So if I'm going into the kitchen and I'm having a negative attitude and thinking the world is fucked, like whatever, whatever, and then I'm making your ghee, then when you're eating your jar of ghee, like I believe that there's some little remnant essence of that you are consuming, because we're consumers. Like what we consume, when we consume something, we're consuming more than the physical. There's an energetic imprint. And so this is why it's really important to me that when we make ghee, we go into ceremony, we go into prayer, we go in and we like bring what we want to see in the world and the shifts that we want to see, and we bring our whole heart, and we like really, like people will say, you know, like made with love, and it's kind of become this cute saying, but it's important, it's felt, and it needs to be felt. And when not only are we making high quality medicine, but I also want you to feel all of the love and all of the prayer and all of the intention that is not only coming from us who are making the medicine, but all of the sourcing and all of the people and all of the animals and the plants and the air and the soil and the sun and the water, everything that like went into this medicine to put it in your body and love you and show you that you are loved and that you matter and that your health matters and your wellness matters. And we need you. We need you in this life to feel good, to feel radiant, to take in this medicine, and we all need each other. And so, side rant. So basically, what I really just want to say is that I have this thing in my life where, you know, several months ago when I got this hit, like, don't make the CBD isolate ghee anymore. It's not in alignment. It's not the same medicine that you're making in other ways with like the other plant medicines that we're working with. And I got that hit really strongly, and then when I spoke it out loud, I got some resistance and some people that were like, no, but I love it. And so I just kind of said, okay, like, we'll just keep doing it. And I ignored that strong hit that was saying, no, this isn't what you're doing. And then this letter came from North Carolina State, and they were like, you can't do that. And it's always fun to me to see how life will give us the nudge that we need to be in alignment. And of course we can try to resist it, and I could try to like, you know, force it or find some loophole or just keep pushing it. But I decided, you know what, this is what I needed to do, the shift that I needed to make to be in alignment with the medicine that I'm trying to create. And so that is really why we're not selling the CBD isolate ghee anymore. We were definitely like, you know, it's the legal push helped, but really it was becoming clearer to me that it was not in the same integrity and energy field that the other plants and food medicines that I'm working with are in. And so yeah, I'm grateful, and I do want to say that I've been working a lot with the hempress, which is the infusion that we've made with hemp flower, and it feels different than the CBD ghee in my body and in my mind and how it feels. I feel the plant, and it doesn't feel like a pharmaceutical drug. It has a really different quality to it, and it's just as powerful and potent, and it carries such a stronger vibration of the plant than this isolated compound that's been extracted in a lab and all the things. So we are in the process of some conversations with some really incredible sourcing for hemp flower. And I'll update y'all more on that soon as that develops. But I just wanted to come on here and let you know that we're done. Even if it became, how about this way? Okay, so North Carolina says the reason that it's illegal to put CBD isolate in food in this state is because it's a drug. That's literally what they said. They said CBD isolate is a pharmaceutical drug and you can't put drugs in food. That's the law. And they're right. It is a pharmaceutical drug. So they're not changing the law. They're just saying you can't put any pharmaceutical drug in somebody's latte, and CBD isolate is no different because it's been classified as a pharmaceutical drug. Maybe rightfully so. I think so. So anyway, I wanted to say that if for some reason they changed that, or it was allowed to put CBD isolate in ghee or in food products, again, I wouldn't do it because I am now clear that that isn't an integrity for our business. Goddess Ghee is a food medicine, and we want to work with the plants in their whole pure form as much as we can. And so yeah, it feels good. It feels like the exact shift that we needed to make, and we will be crafting more hemp infusions soon, and I encourage you all to try the Hempress. It's absolutely amazing. It is my favorite medicine that we make right now, and I know that you'll love it. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll update y'all soon as we develop more of these flower-infused blends that we are so excited about. So be well. See you next time.